Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to talk about supercar warranties.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan and this is my garage, and this channel is all about the supercar ownership experience. And if you didn't know, we actually have a consultation service where we help people buy supercars. And at this point, we've actually helped a couple hundred people buy supercars. I'm going to guess it's somewhere between 300 and 400 supercars have been purchased through our assistance. And that's awesome, and we love doing that. And one of the most common questions that we get during our consultations is, should I buy the extended warranty? So we're going to talk all about that. But before we get into it, please support us. We do appreciate when you guys do that. You can like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Just do that down below. And also go check out our website, Normal Guy Supercar. There you can buy parts and services for your supercar. And of course, if you're interested in buying any of our supercars that we have for sale through our dealership, NG Supercars, send us an email, sales@ngsupercars.com. All right, guys, let's talk about supercar warranties and are they worth it? At this point, we've sold dozens of supercars and we've helped hundreds of people buy supercars. And it's super common that people ask us, hey, what about the warranty? Should I get a warranty? Now, I got to preface this with, this is my personal opinion, and I honestly believe you should do whatever makes you feel comfortable. So I know that some people say, I just can't mentally get over buying a supercar and not having a warranty. And I can appreciate that and I understand that entirely. So therefore, if you have to get a warranty, get a warranty. There are some aftermarket warranties out there. I don't know that much about them because I haven't personally really looked into them. If you're going to get a warranty, what I would tell you is make sure you read the fine print. Make sure you really understand what is and what is not covered under the warranty, and we'll get into why in just a minute and give you an example. So the most common thing is the CPO warranty, the certified pre-owned Ferrari, for example. I gotta buy it from a dealership because I want the CPO and all that stuff. Ferrari's kind of loosened their policies about warranties, and they've also started offering where you can buy a warranty on a car up to 15 years old. That's pretty amazing. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why on earth would they offer warranties up to 15 years? Well, my personal theory is because they make a lot of money on the warranties. And the reason they make a bunch of money on these warranties is because cars that are within 15 years old within the Ferrari line don't really break that much. And the things that do break aren't really all that expensive usually. Now I'm not saying there aren't outliers. I'm just saying usually. The Ferrari extended warranty that you can buy on cars up to 15 years old is generally only a powertrain warranty. So it's basically only covering the engine and transmission. That does not cover stuff like your radio. That does not necessarily cover stuff like the air conditioner or electronic stuff. To be fair, most of those components are pretty reliable, again, on the cars that are within the last 15 years. I'm not going to say that's necessarily true about some of the older Ferraris. They do need some more maintenance. From what I understand, because again, I haven't personally bought one, but many of our clients have, it costs between $5,000 and $7,000 a year. I think the most common number I've heard is $6,500 a year. So for example, this car is a 2013. It is still, well, it would be if it wasn't a salvage car. That car would have been eligible for the warranty and it would have covered the powertrain. The powertrain warranty, again, engine and transmission, the primary things. And let's be real, most of the time people aren't talking about Ferrari engines having problems. They're very good engines, almost bulletproof. In our entire experience of running this channel, I know of 2 people who have had Ferrari engines blow up. That's it. Interesting enough, I know only one person who has had a transmission blow up in a Ferrari. So take that for what it is. It's just, that's not statistical relevance. It's just, that's my own anecdotal experience of people contacting us. Now, the 2 cars that did have engines blow up, one of them was on the track, and the other one was on the track. So I'm just saying, generally speaking, if you're street driving your Ferrari, probably don't have to worry about the engine grenading. Now, the transmission, we do hear lots of horror stories about, especially with the DCT transmissions. Oh my God, the DCT transmission, the speed sensor problem, for example. And so I have to buy a whole new transmission. That used to be true. You used to need to buy a whole new transmission if the speed sensor went out. Basically, the transmission, there's a couple symptoms. One is that you'll get something weird where it will only go into odd gears or only even gears. Another symptom that sometimes people have talked about is it just will free rev and do some other weird stuff. Yeah, that does occasionally happen. It doesn't seem to happen as much anymore. I think early sensors on those things just would zonk out, or for some weird reason. My own personal theory is that a lot of it could be just electronic stuff, like you had a bad battery and it caused it to kind of short out, or maybe like jump the card. If the speed sensor goes out, now you don't have to replace the transmission. There are actually places out there that will separate the transmission, replace the speed sensor, and put it back together and throw it in the car. That's about $7,000 to do that, is the most common quote I've heard for that. So $7,000 if the speed sensor goes out. Plus or minus a little bit, right? Just depends on the shop, depends if they're willing to do it. Obviously, if you have to get a whole new transmission, you're talking like $30,000. So in the case of a whole transmission replacement, 100% the warranty is going to be worth it. In the case of the speed sensor, probably not worth it. $7,000 is basically the cost of the warranty. And in my opinion, that's really the only thing that warranty is going to cover. And why do I say that? Because it is a powertrain warranty. It is not a wear and tear item warranty. I have a friend who bought a Ferrari California and bought the extended warranty and drove the car home and had it within a week, and it started leaking a lot of fluid out of the transmission. He took it to the Ferrari shop that he bought it from, said, "Hey, it's under warranty. I've got the powertrain warranty. Please fix this." And they go, "That is a wear and tear item. It is a gasket." They did not fix it under the warranty. He had to pay out of pocket for it. It was like $3,500. Stuff like that makes me think to myself, yeah, I don't really see the cost benefit analysis working out. The only time that one of these warranties would actually come into play and be cost effective is if you have an absolutely catastrophic problem. And I'm willing to bet you almost anything that if you had a powertrain warranty, for example, on the engine, and you were tracking the car and the engine blew up, they probably are going to say, "Hey, it's not covering cars that are on the track." That's my guess. I could be wrong, but something tells me that that's going to be the case. All that being said is, I personally do not think the warranties are worth it. I think it's a terrible idea, and they're very expensive. Let's say you buy it for 3 years. That's somewhere between like $15,000 and $20,000 for the warranty. There's not a whole lot that can go wrong with that car that's $20,000, short of needing a whole new transmission or a whole new engine. The chances of that seem pretty low, especially if you're maintaining the car properly. So the new cars, I don't think it's worth it. I would skip it. That's the Ferrari warranty. I don't know as much about Lamborghini. I haven't heard a whole lot about that. I do know, like, generally speaking, people seem to think that the Lamborghinis don't really have engine trouble, although I actually do know of a few people who have grenaded their Lamborghini engines. I'm not accusing people of anything, but I'm just saying they may have been revving the absolute piss out of those engines a lot when it's not in gear and just, showing off. I'm just saying. Okay. And I don't really know of too many people grenading transmissions on those cars. You don't really hear anything about that. So they seem to be, the modern Lamborghinis seem to be, again, pretty darn reliable. Now McLaren, there's a whole nother bag of, oh God. The McLaren warranty is a little bit weird. I shouldn't say I know this for sure, but I've heard from McLaren owners that one of the weird things about the McLaren warranty is if you track the car and it's not at a McLaren sanctioned event, the car loses its warranty. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. I would read the fine print if you're going to track your McLaren. If you take your Ferrari to a Ferrari track event, I believe they still have the warranty. They don't really care. They figure it's a race car. Now, if you do take your car to a Ferrari sanctioned event, they're going to want to have a track inspection before you go. And that's more of like, hey, making sure that the car is okay. I personally think it's just a money grab. It's like, hey, here's the 5 things that you should replace and, get new tires and blah, 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 right? It's all, here's some maintenance components that aren't under warranty that your car hasn't been into our dealership in 6 months, so please give us money. They are still, in the business of making money off of you, so whenever possible, they're going to try and do that. That's just how it works. Kudos to them. They're doing pretty good. So what about the aftermarket warranties? Again, I don't know a whole lot about it. The only one I've kind of looked into a little bit is Fur Parts. So I don't have a sponsorship with them. I like them as a company. I've bought parts from them a lot. They are very cool people, and they seem to offer some sort of aftermarket warranty. I would look into that. I think that seems more appealing to me because I bet it's cheaper and I bet it's more comprehensive because their whole thing is they sell parts. So they probably can get the parts cheaper. And if they use third-party sources to install those parts, it's definitely going to be cheaper than a dealership. There's probably a few other warranties. If one of you has a warranty that's through a third party, feel free to discuss it in the comments below because I would love to educate myself about it. And I think it would be a great conversation for all of us to have, is to help each other understand these warranties and are they really worth it and all that sort of stuff. Full disclosure, this is just my opinion. You should do whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you feel like you're just going to be too nervous not having a warranty, then get the warranty. Ultimately, these are objects that are here to create pleasure and fun and enjoyment. And if you're gonna be so nervous that you don't drive the car, or you hate driving the car, or it just scares you to drive the car because you're so scared that something's gonna break because I don't have a warranty, and oh my God, it's gonna cost so much money, that's not enjoying the car. That sounds terrible. So do what you need to do to enjoy the car and have a lot of fun with it. And that's what it's meant to do. What are you doing? You're jailbreaking. You're letting yourself out. You aren't supposed to be in here. What are you doing? What are you doing, little man? What are you doing? You coming over here? What you doing? Oh, you like the Ferrari? You like the Ferrari, huh? Yeah, we like the Ferraris better. What you doing, little man? It's like, oh, I grabbed the microphone. I grabbed the microphone. Oh. Okay, you. Well, YouTube, again, it ultimately comes down to do what you need to do to make yourself comfortable to enjoy your ownership experience of a supercar. If you're not enjoying it, that's no fun. That's not worth it. We'd love it if you guys can support us by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Please do that. And of course, check out normalguysupercar.com. Ash demands it of you. It is very important for you to do that. We're going to be doing a lot more cool car stuff, so you're going to want to stay tuned. It's going to be sweet. Hey, sir, let's go inside. Come on, let's go. Let's go.